Hello. From last class, we created a variable called board, right? And we also created position number, and we made sure that we set the position number to 1. So then this first one right here would be the first position, and then set 2, and then 3, and then 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And from there, we created a list of all the possible winning triplets. So we should have all this done. I did forget, I kind of rushed you guys last class. So what we're supposed to do is that when a square is clicked, okay, that's going to replace that square's entry board in the board list with an X. And so what we're going to do is use a replace item block. All right, so we're going to replace position number with, so from the board. And when it's clicked, right, it turns into an X in our list board here. And so this will happen every time we click on the X. So it switches the costume to X. When this is clicked X, this should turn X. All right, so let's go ahead and see if that does actually happen. All right, so let's go ahead and build our board, and then we're going to click here, and when we click an X here, number 1 spot should turn into an X, which it does. And so O, and then what I'm expecting is spot number 2 is to turn into X when I click on it, which it does. So that works. Okay. So let's do that for O also. So we're going to replace item with position number from the board. Okay. So all these numbers here are really just a position number that we assigned at the beginning when making the board. And now that when the costume switches to O, it's going to be replaced with O in our board here. So let's go ahead and give it a try, see if it works. So I'm expecting spot number 1 to turn into X, and then space number 2 to turn into an O, which it does. So then our code works great there. And now we are going to go and do the next part. And so that means we are now going to check to see if they won, right? So let's follow the directions, and step 1, click on the green flag to start a new game, and then we're going to play one game deliberately, letting X win. Okay, there you go. So X won. And we're going to build an expression. So we're going to build map. Okay, we're going to build map item, and we're going to leave this part blank of the board over a list of one, 2, and 3. So let's just go ahead and see what this reports. And so in spot number 1, we have X, spot number 2, we have O, and spot number 3, there's nothing, so it's saying that it's position number 3. And what this is showing is the map expression here works as the same way as the join example that was shown in your class kick. But okay, so this one's just a little bit more complex to think about. So here we're mapping over a constant list. So this list right here is not going to change, right? Maybe we would put a variable in here, but really that's not what's happening. Okay, so here map is going to insert each list item into a blank space. So here, this is your blank space inside the gray ring, and it reports the list of the results. Because it is blank, it's going to report the 3 positions that we requested, which is spot 1, position 2, position 3. Okay. And so at this point, you really should talk to your partner and talk about the result of the expression here. If 1, 2, 3 isn't the triple that one in which X wins the game, replace the list in the map expression with a winning triple. And so here our winning triple is 1, 5, and 9. So let's go ahead and 1, 5, and 9. And when we click on it, it's going to replace. So spot 1 is 1, spot 2 is 5 right here, and where it says 3, it's 9. Okay, and so what's showing is that they're all X's. And we're going to use this idea to make a status of triple block that takes one possible winning triplet, like this 1, 5, 9 or 1, 2, 3 as input, and then it reports a list of what is in those 3 positions, X, O, or a number. And then we're going to use that to write an expression that'll be true. All right, so let's go ahead and create our status of triple block. So we're going to make a block, and I think I'm going to make it a list, a reporter block. Okay, and so status of triple, and we're going to have an input of the triple, and this right here will turn it into a list. Okay, and so next we are going to take this block and put it in here. But instead of list, right, we were expecting a variable before, and so we're just going to take our input here and see if that is it. Okay, so now we have a status of triple block, and let's go ahead and play another game and see if O wins. Okay, so we're gonna press this. We have X, O, X, O, X, and then O. So we are going to check the status of our board, and we see that 3, well, okay, so we have 4, 5, 6 here. Let's go ahead and check what space 1, 2, and 3 are saying, and it's XX3. Okay, so that's that part. All right, so that is checking one way to win. And in the next part, I will talk about checking all the ways to win.